Welcome to safetrader. This is Aravind. Today we are going to talk about something very special that most of us have been talking about these days, which is Indiavix. So this is going to be third episode of season 1, and we have divided Indiavix into multiple parts so that we can discuss deeply of Indiavix at every segment. So we will have multiple topics covered under Indiavix. So today in the part 1, we will just discuss about basics. So basics will basically will be covering about how Indiavix is going to behave and what is Indiavix, how we can understand Indiavix. Okay, so these are the basic things that we will talk about. And before we proceed directly into the topic, we have been providing content, and also we have been live streaming our daily trading. So if you like the content that we are providing, please do hit the like button, share and subscribe. And we also have launched the new YouTube channel, which is only for the knowledge purpose, which is Learn with safetrader. And I will also leave the link in the description. Please do go ahead and subscribe to our channel so that the new content that we are posting might reach you at the click of the thumb. Thank you so much, and please stay tuned. Welcome back. So in the part 1 basics, the first point that we would like to talk about is what is Indiavix. Basically, what do you understand by Indiavix? A lot of people have a lot of myths and assumptions. So let's clear all of them in this episode. Okay. So the first thing is Indiavix. When we talk about Indiavix, it is the fear. It is the basic fear that a trader has towards a market. Okay. So, when a trader looks at a particular news, it could be a war. Okay. Sometimes it could be an RBI policy. Okay. Sometimes it could be a recession in the market. So, when you see a news like this, a trader looks at a market and considers that there might be a fall in the market or a rise in the market. So there is a fear within the trader who thinks that the market might suddenly or drastically fall or suddenly or drastically rise. So this is what defines Indiavix. So the fear of a trader based on the news that is currently running in the society. So it is also called as the perception of the trader, where a Nifty can move. So this we will cover it shortly as well. So it is the fear and the perception of the trader, how a market can rise or fall within certain duration, or it could be period of time. So we can simply call it as Indiavix is basically the fear or perception of a trader in expectance of a particular index, which is a Nifty, can trade between certain levels within a certain period of time. So, for example, if I am a trader, okay, consider that I am a trader, and now I suddenly see a news that there is a war that's going on. Probably, you can talk about Russia and Ukraine war. So when there is a war in place, so I would look at maybe Nifty, say currently it is trading around, for example, 18,000. Okay. Now I might think that due to this particular news, which is a huge news, war, I might consider that Nifty might fall by another 2,000 points, right? Or I might even consider that it might even move up by another 2,000 points, right? So this is the expectancy of the trader. Okay, this is the perception of the trader. So the trader is thinking that market violently moves on the upwards or downwards. Okay, it could be due to any reason. It could be it is not just because of the war. It could be due to RBI policies or recessions. It could be any pandemic that's coming, and like coronavirus that we have experienced. So it is basically the expectancy or the perception or the fear that a trader has towards the market, which moves violently on the upwards or downwards. So, and this violent move can be within 12 months. Okay. So what we see in the Indiavix, okay, that defines a particular volatility in the market within the period of 12 months. If you see, Indiavix is trading around 25 points, which basically means that, okay, Nifty, okay, can move 25% on the upside or 25% on the downside within the period of 12 months, basically. Okay. So again, Indiavix, okay, Indiavix, it is not IV, Indiavix is expected to move by 25% on the upside or 25% on the downside within the period of 12 months. Okay. So this is basically an Indiavix talks about. So when you look at an Indiavix number, it could be 18, it could be 20, it could be 100, it could be 80, it could be 61. So that number defines this particular volatility within the period of 12 months. Okay. So this is the expectancy. Now basically to simplify what is an Indiavix, okay, Indiavix is a fear or a perception of a trader, okay, or an investor. Okay. So it is a fear or perception of a trader who thinks that the market or a Nifty can violently move on the upwards or downwards, okay, within the specified duration of 12 months. Okay. Now you might be asking, why do I need a 12 months assumption? Because I don't want to trade based on 12 months of duration, because I trade only within a month or I trade within a week. So we will come to that calculation in later part of this video. But for now, you just need to understand that Indiavix basically is a fear or a perception a trader has, which talks about or who actually thinks that the market might move violently on the upward or the downwards within the period of 12 months. So it could be 50%, it could be 100%, it could be 70%, it could be 80%. So the kind of move that a market is expected to have within the period of 12 months. So that is what we can call it as, Indiavix basically. Okay. So hope you get that. Now let's talk about the second point. We spoke about the fear a trader has, right? We spoke about Indiavix is basically a fear or a perception a trader has towards the market violent moves, right? Now, why there is a fear? Fear is because of the uncertainty. Why there is an uncertainty? As I said again, why there will be an uncertainty? Because lot of traders or investors are unsure of the market basically. Okay. They are not unsure of the market's volatility or movements. Now, why there is an uncertainty or why people are not sure about the market moves? Because of the major news in the society which I was talking about. Okay. It could be war. It could be pandemic. It could be an RBI policy. Okay. It could be on a recession. So there could be multiple news in the society which does not give a clear direction towards the market. Okay. So these can violently, for example, if there is a war, a Nifty can violently move by some 1500 points, for example, or it can move by 1500 points on the downwards. So basically, because of this particular, trader being not sure, creates an uncertainty in the market. Because of this uncertainty, traders are afraid of the market, or they have this fear factor inbuilt in them there. So because of this, the market moves violently, and eventually, this is what defines VIX, right? So eventually, when there is a violent move in the market, this brings, okay, Indiavix up. Okay, that is where Indiavix shoots up to certain number, probably 60 or 70 or 80. Okay. So for an example, during coronavirus period, we have seen that Indiavix shot up to somewhere around 80 points. Okay. So this basically means that from that period, Nifty can shoot up by 80% or can come down by 80% within the period of 12 months. That is the basic meaning of this, right? When you see 80 points of 80 Indiavix during coronavirus period, that indicates that Nifty can move between 80% of plus in Nifty, 80% minus in Nifty in 12 months, in next 12 months. So when I say next 12 months, the 12 months are calculated, okay, based on the trading days, okay. It is not, this does not calculate holidays, okay. This does not calculate holidays, and this does not calculate weekends or non-trading days basically, okay. This 12 months, when I say 12 months, it only calculates trading days, not non-trading days, because you might see a holiday during Independence Day or Republic Day. It could be weekends on Saturday, Sunday. So those are not part of this 12 months. Excluding those holidays, these 12 months have to be calculated. Okay, so that we shall still see about the calculation. But about why there is a fear, we spoke about first point being that Indiavix is basically a fear or a perception a particular trader has. Okay, just to summarize those 2 points that we spoke about. First point, we spoke about what is Indiavix. Okay, in what is Indiavix, we clearly mentioned that it is a fear, okay, which a trader has towards the market, okay, or basically a Nifty, okay, who thinks that, or who has a perception that Nifty can move on the upside or downside by a certain percentage for a period of 12 months. Okay, this is basically Indiavix basically means. Okay, now second point, we spoke about why there is a fear in the market, because of uncertainty. Why there is an uncertainty? Because there is a big news in the market. Now what is the big news? It could be pandemic, it could be an RBI policy, it could be a war, it could be a recession. So because of this, there is a uncertainty that is building up. Because of uncertainty, there is a fear in the market. A trader or an investor is is afraid, or he has a lot of panic within himself that he does not know where to trade, or sometimes it goes up, it comes down, it does not have a certain direction. Okay, so that is why there is an uncertainty. Okay, now let's talk about the third point within this basics part. Okay, so the third point we talk about is VIX versus Nifty. Now what is the relationship between this Indiavix we talk about and the Nifty? So basically, when we talk about VIX points, okay, probably we see that Indiavix is trading around somewhere around 80 points, for example. Okay, so this 80 points basically means that Nifty, okay, because that's the Indiavix basically. Okay, so this Nifty can move by 80% or can move down by another 80% within the period of next 12 months. Okay, so this is the basic relationship between VIX, Indiavix and Nifty. Okay, because when we talk about VIX, it is directly related to Nifty, not any other market. It is not related to mid caps, or it is not related to lower caps, or it is not related to any other sectors directly. It is directly related to Nifty. So when we speak about VIX being moved by 80%, or it can be 70%, moved by 70 or 80 or 50% for next 12 months, it is talking about Nifty which is being moved by certain percentage. Okay, so for example, VIX is around 50%, for example. This means that Nifty can move up by 50% or down by another 50% within next 12 months. Okay, or if it is talking about 20% or 20 points of VIX, this means that Nifty can move up by 20%, down by another 20% within next 12 months. So this is the basic relationship between a VIX and Nifty. Okay, now what is the direct relationship between this Indiavix and Nifty, right? So Nifty has 50 stocks, right? And what does this Indiavix has? It has this IV here. You see this IV? Okay. Now, if you look at the Nifty, Nifty has option chain. Okay. And every strike price that you see here will have its IV separately. Every strike price will have its IV separately. As the IV increases, for example, if it is increasing by 17.3, so the price related to that particular strike price increases. Okay. So if this is increasing on to 18, for example, the premium also increases. So likewise, you would see that if it is falling, you would see the premium falling here. So similarly, IV is directly related to the price. Okay, every strike price has a IV, which is called as an implied volatility. So this is directly related to the strike price. As the IV increases, the premium will also increase. Now, as the IV increases, as the premium increases, the VIX also will increase. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why when market shoots up or comes down, the prices will shoot or the premiums will increase very drastically, even on the put side or sometimes on the call side when they are falling. Okay, when market falls, the premiums on the put side will increase, and when market is or Nifty is shooting up, the premium on the call side increases, right? So as the premium increases, the VIX will also increase. Because why the VIX increases? Because as you see that IV is increasing, the premium is increasing. Now this IV is related to VIX. Now since the IV is increasing, VIX will also eventually increase. Now as the VIX comes down, the IV will also slowly try to come down. Okay, this is the basic relationship between Indiavix and Nifty. As the VIX increases, Nifty also increases, right? Or Nifty strike price has IV, right? As the IV increases, you would see Indiavix is also increasing, right? So this is the basic relationship between IV, Nifty, IV, and Indiavix. So they are all interdependent basically. Okay, if Nifty has to increase, okay, each of the premiums will also increase. Okay, and each of the premiums will increase based on how IV is increasing. If the IV is increasing, Indiavix also will increase. So this is the basic relationship between VIX and Nifty. So let's look at the next point, which is volatility, IV, and VIX. For you to understand what exactly is a VIX, you need to understand these three topics or these three terminologies. Now, what do you mean by volatility? As you know, when you speak about market or when you talk about Nifty or Bank Nifty, etc., you would say Bank Nifty or Nifty is so volatile, you would say, right? Now, what do you basically mean by volatile? When you see Nifty is moving up by some 100 points and down by 100 points and some suddenly moves up, okay, moves up by 100 points, comes down by 100 points, goes up by another 120 points, comes down by 120, again moves up by 50 points, or comes down by another 40 points or so. So this is called a volatility market basically. Okay, so the volatility basically means that the price of a particular index moves rigorously between certain range. Okay, so this is called a volatility, right? Now how this is related to VIX or sorry IV, implied volatility? It is basically when this is trying to move, there is also IV that basically moves between the range. Okay, sometimes it could be 20, it could be 50, or it could be maybe around 60 it is. Okay, here you might see somewhere around 25, or it could be 20 again, it could be again 40, something like this. So there is a also volatility in implied volatility. Okay, so this particular volatility being applied to particular strike prices in Nifty. So that is called implied volatility, and I will make another video as well on Indiavix versus implied volatility. So we will talk more about implied volatility on another video. So I am only giving you a gist of what this is about. Okay. Now, as we already know, implied volatility or IV, how this is basically related. As the IV increases, okay, you would also see VIX increasing, right? So they are both related. So basically, when you understand the volatility part of it, you will understand the implied volatility, and implied volatility will talk about Indiavix. Okay, so they are all connected somehow. Okay, so this is basically an information of three terminologies: volatility, implied volatility, and India VIX. So the next one we will talk about is how would you actually calculate VIX? You know that we know, if VIX is actually around, for example, 50, we already spoke about that Nifty can move by 50%, down by another 50% within next 12 months. But this is a very, very big, duration, right? So I can't be projecting 12 months of volatility, or I can't be projecting 12 months of range for my trade, because I don't trade based on my 12 months of analysis, right? I could trade only within a month. I could trade only within 2 months. I could trade only maximum 3 months. So I don't want this 12 months of calculation. So how would you actually know based on this particular number, based on this Indiavix number, how would you know where the market moves within a month? Okay, so there is a basic calculation. Now, how many months we have in a year? We have 12 months. When you do a square root of that 12 months, you will get a certain number, which is like 3.46 change. Okay, so which you can convert into 2 decimal points. So this could be square root of 12 comes up to 3.46. So let's calculate Indiavix in a monthly time frame. Basically, we know that if you have a time frame, or if you have an Indiavix of 17.6, which basically means that, as we already spoke, okay, 17.6 basically means that Nifty can move up by 16% or down by 17.6% or 17.6% on the upside as well. But we are looking for a momentum within a month, right? So within a month, how would you calculate? As I said, we need to get the square root of 12 first, which is a 3.46. And now we need to divide our Indiavix by the 3.46 that we have received. Okay, so let's do that. 17.6 divided by, okay, 3.46, which basically comes up to 5%. Okay, so this means that, okay, this basically means what? This means that Nifty, which is around currently, which is trading around 17,200 or 17,700, sorry. Okay, so okay, let's round it off to 18,000, for example. Okay, so consider that it is trading around 18,000 now. So based on the percentage that we have received here, 5%, so within next 30 days, okay, within next 30 days, Nifty can move up by 5% or come down by 5%. Okay, so this is how you calculate Nifty movement based on the Indiavix. Okay, so this Indiavix will help you to decide the market sentiment. When I talk about sentiment, it is not a directional sentiment I'm talking about. It is talking about a range. Okay, within which or what range Nifty can move within next 30 days. Now, when I say again, as I said, when I was talking about 12 months, even in 30 days, when I talk about, it is not calendar days. Okay, it is not calendar days. Okay, because within a month you have 30 days, but I am not talking about those 30 days. I am only talking about traded days, trading 30 days. Okay, so which basically means that this does not include weekends. Okay, this does not include holidays. So when I say 30 days, 30 trading days I'm talking about. Okay, 30 trading days. So within next 30 trading days, the Nifty can move up by 5% or can come down by 5%. Okay, so basically this is the meaning of this. If Nifty is around 18,000, what is the 5% of it? For example, it is 900 points. Okay, and this means that Nifty can go up to 18,900 or it can come down to 17,100 next 30 trading days. Okay, I'm talking about 30 trading days. So this is the basic meaning of Indiavix, helping us to decide the range of range of Nifty within next 30 days. This is the basic calculation behind it. So let's go ahead and review, okay, the topics that we have covered so far. So the first part that we already spoke, Indiavix, basically based on the fear or a perception of a trader, okay, and that decides, or based on how Nifty is moving, trader can take trades accordingly. This is one point that we spoke about. Second point is basically there is a fear in the market, as we spoke. And why there is a fear? This is because of the uncertainty. And why there is an uncertainty? Uncertainty is because of the, it could be due to war, it could be any major news, I would say. So this could be because of anything in the market. Now, because of that uncertainty, we have a fear in the market. And when there is a fear in the market, there are violent moves in the market on the upside or downside. Okay. And the third point we spoke about is VIX versus Nifty. How Indiavix is related to Nifty. Because as the VIX grows, Nifty can also change violently. Okay. It can move up or come down. And we also said Nifty has options. And Nifty options have IV, right? And as the IV grows, VIX grows. Okay. Now, IV is growing on the put side. When IV grows on the put side, the market falls. And the IV grows on the call side, okay, the market shoots up. So, either ways, VIX is going to increase as the IV increases. Okay. So, that's the third point we spoke about. And fourth one, we spoke about three terminologies, which is first one, volatility. Volatility talks about the market moving within a range violently and multiple times. IV basically implied volatility, we already spoke about. VIX, yes, how this is dependent on IV. Okay, these are the topics that we covered. And the last one, how VIX is calculated within 12 months and 1 month. Okay, so we know that for a 12 months, if you see a VIX which is trading around 17%, defines that Nifty can move up by 17% within 12 months or come down by 17 months within the period of 12 months. Now, how would you calculate for a month? For 1 month, you will need to take a square root of 12, which is going to be 3.46, and you need to divide current VIX, which is around 17.6, divided by 3.46, which comes out to 5%. So now this defines the market range within next 30 days. Okay, so this talks about Nifty can move up by 5% or can come down by 5% next 30 days. Hope you liked this content, and we have many more topics coming in Indiavix. There is a lot more to talk about. This is just the basic part of it, because we just want you to know how Indiavix is understood in general terminologies. So there is more how Indiavix is related to the trending of the market, how traders can react to Indiavix, how implied volatility is connected to Indiavix. So there are more topics coming in Indiavix. We shall talk about them more deeply in coming videos. Okay, so if you really like the content that we are providing, please do hit like, comment, share and subscribe. And as I said in the beginning, also we have new channel for knowledge based videos. Please do subscribe to our channel and share this channel with everyone, with your friends, relatives, etc. Thank you so much, and you have a great day ahead.